Hey folks, I'm Walter Wright. Recently, one of the big issues on the minds of Americans has been global warming. In the past few decades, we have seen things like higher temperatures in the winter, hot summers, and less winter weather. Although it does get cold enough for the leaves to change, we do get cool things like outside Christmas and year-round ice cream trucks. We don't get to enjoy things like snow days we used to get in Charlotte when we had a quarter inch of snow. But personally, I think we need to embrace this heat up for our own good. Scientists need to figure out a way to harvest and contain the power of the sun. That way we can build things like heat bombs that on impact have the ability to set fire to an entire country, or we can have small heat bombs that can set fire to states we don't need, like Utah, and the rest of us won't suffer the radiation. Now, being the smart guy that I am, I decided to embrace the inevitable spontaneous combustion of our Earth, and I bought over 100 Baskin-Robbins stores. You see, I know that when it's 105 degrees outside in December that everyone is going to want some ice cream. Sure, my mother thinks I'm an idiot right now, but when I'm a billionaire, I'll be able to say, "Suck it, Mom." If you're smart like me, you can benefit from this unlike the rest of you losers. But there's another side to this situation. Now, don't get me wrong, I love year-round barbecues and not having to scrape the frost off my Mercedes, but also have to think about the animals. Ice melting is one of our biggest concerns right now because animals like the polar bears are drowning from the ice patches not being there anymore. To get a better understanding of how this is affecting animals, we now go to a special report from Stephanie Long.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Long. Recently, global warming has become a huge issue when talking about our future. We know that one day our lives could be threatened by this climate change. But who is suffering right now? The lives of the animals at the polar ice caps have been severely threatened with this climate change. And to learn more about this important issue, I've decided to interview someone who knows more about this than anyone, a penguin. Mr. Penguin, thank you very much for joining me.
I am getting paid for this, right?
No.
Damn.
Mr. Penguin, tell us what brought you all the way to North Carolina.
Well, over the past few years, we've had some problems with flooding in the South Pole, and I just got sick of it, so I came here.
What was the hardest part about moving to the States?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I first moved here, I thought I was gonna die. It was so freaking high. I mean, I spent like a week living in the Zamboni room of an ice skating rink until they found me and they kicked me out. But, then I got this place and it stays pretty cold.
Have you gotten used to the heat?
Yeah, pretty much. I usually keep a nice tan during the summer, and I even have a hot tub I go in sometimes, so life's pretty good, but, I still miss the cold sometimes.
Right. And what do you do to stay cool if you feel the need?
Well, I spend a lot of time in the frozen food section at Food Lion, and other times I just bury myself in bags of frozen peas and eat ice cream until I puke on myself.
Now, some of your family died in the floods, is that correct?
Yeah.
Who do you blame?
Well, at first I blamed you stupid Americans and your expeditions and your Suburbans and your Hummers and whatnot, but, my friend Jim has a Chevy Avalanche, and I can see why you people like SUVs. And so, now I just blame Hillary Clinton.
Oh, she's just awful, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's terrible. And, she's pretty much Satan.
Right, with her horns and her pitchforks and her flames and whatnot.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much safe to blame her.
Indeed. Last question. What do you hate the most about living here?
What do I hate the most? Mowing the lawn, McDonald's drive-thrus, and God, I hate my neighbors. I mean, if those little hobbits don't stay off my property, I'm going to scalp them and cut them into little meat squares.